Love Horoscope for May 2025, the month of transformation in relationships. What will fate bring for each zodiac sign? May 2025 brings a powerful wave of transformation in love. Under the influence of significant astrological movements, such as Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, Saturn entering Aries, Neptune in Aries, Venus retrograde in Pisces and Jupiter in Gemini, relationships gain new depth. This is the time when we can no longer escape the truth, when lies or self-deceptions come to the surface, and honesty becomes the primary currency in emotional exchanges between people. What does May teach us? That love is no longer about fantasies, but about clarity. It's no longer about unspoken desires, but about taking responsibility. And, perhaps most importantly, that love always begins with the relationship we have with ourselves. Venus retrograde in Pisces brings an acute need to heal past wounds, especially those related to unnecessary sacrifices, idealization, and unbalanced relationships. It asks us the question, for whom have I given up on myself? Meanwhile, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius reveals uncomfortable truths about power dynamics in relationships. Saturn in Aries demands structure in emotions, maturity in choices, and clarity in intentions. Let's see how these astrological movements reflect in the romantic lives of each zodiac sign. Aries. Love is no longer a game. It becomes a conscious decision. With Saturn entering your sign on May 25th, you're forced to take your feelings seriously. If you've avoided labeling or committing, reality now pulls you into action. It's an emotional assessment month where you'll discover what you truly want. It may not be romantic, but it's authentic. Long-term relationships face an important test. If they pass, they become indestructible. If not, it's time to accept that not all love stories need to last a lifetime. Taurus. The sun shines in your sign for much of the month, and honestly, you're the universe's favorite in May 2025. But not just in career or money, it's also about love. Venus retrograde forces you to deeply reconsider what safety means in a relationship. It's no longer just about financial stability or comfortable routine, but about being seen, understood, and respected. Single Tauruses may reconnect with a past lover, or feel a magnetic attraction to someone seemingly unsuitable, but impossible to ignore. Existing relationships undergo a soul reassessment, but in a healing way. Gemini. With Jupiter in your sign until June 9th, love is an adventure, an exploration, a meaningful story, as long as it doesn't become a prison. You want connection, but also freedom. You seek depth, but also humor. Most importantly, you need someone who respects your pace. For Geminis in relationships, May brings a need to reinvent the dynamic. Conversations about the future, new rules, and personal space. Single Geminis might meet someone in an intellectual, social, or professional setting. Attraction sparks in the mind before it reaches the heart. Cancer. For you, May is about balancing emotion and reason. Pluto retrograde brings to light deeply rooted patterns related to attachment and control. If you felt you loved too much, too fast, or put others' needs before your own, now is the time to reclaim your space. Stable relationships can deepen if you have the courage to express your feelings without fear of abandonment. Single Cancers may experience unexpected passion with someone completely different from their usual type. Love is no longer just sensitivity. It becomes a form of commitment. Leo. In May 2025, love for Leos isn't just about the partner. It's about your role in the relationship. The Mars-Pluto opposition strains your relationships and identity, confronting you with the question, how much of myself do I lose to keep a relationship? This month, you're challenged to claim your power in a partnership. without being domineering, but also without minimizing yourself. Single Leos may be drawn to people who challenge them, intellectually but spiritually. You're no longer attracted to appearances. You seek authenticity, truth, will, and passion, yes, but one with real roots. Virgo. You are in a period of inner recalibration. Venus retrograde in Pisces, opposite your sign, highlights all your unhealed wounds related to love. Excessive compromises, the need for validation, fear of rejection. It's a month of deep healing. You can close a toxic cycle. You can say no where you would have once accepted anything. For Virgos in relationships, a phase is coming where you will learn to receive, not just give. Single Virgos have the chance to meet someone who teaches them patience, vulnerability, and closeness without masks. Libra. For you, May is about choices. Pluto retrograde in your house of love clearly shows you which relationships drain you and which ones help you grow. This doesn't necessarily mean a breakup. It means maturity. You no longer want to save anyone. You no longer want to be in a relationship just to avoid being alone. You realize that it's worth being with someone who sees you fully, not just the beautiful and gentle parts. Single Libras might meet someone who mirrors exactly what they've refused to see in themselves. Don't run. Listen. It's a chance for healing. Scorpio. For Scorpio, May is about control and vulnerability. You may experience painful revelations related to your need to own a relationship. Pluto, your ruler, is retrograde, and Mars in opposition shakes your idea of safety. If you've controlled, manipulated, or suppressed the truth in the name of love, now everything you've hidden comes to light. It's time to learn to love freely, to trust. Single Scorpios may experience intense passion, but not without challenges. The choice is control or real connection. Sagittarius. It's a month of truth for you. Saturn in Aries activates your love zone and asks for maturity. If you've seen love as an adventure or an escape, now you learn that the greatest adventure is to commit. You might discover that an apparently ordinary relationship has unexpected depth, or conversely, that fiery romance has no solid foundation. Single Sagittarians need to be cautious. Charming people may appear, but with unclear intentions. Have the courage to ask, what do you really want? Capricorn. For you, May is about loyalty to yourself. Saturn enters Aries and begins to reshape your vision of a life partner. It's no longer enough to check off criteria: stable, hardworking, serious. You want a partner with whom to build, but also to live, with whom you can allow yourself to be you. Capricorns in relationships may go through a tense moment, but it brings clarity. If you've drifted apart, you'll either reconnect or separate amicably. Single Capricorns may fall for someone completely unconventional, and it's exactly what they needed. Aquarius. For you, love becomes a testing ground for personal boundaries. Pluto retrograde in your sign asks you to drop the facade. Show yourself as you are, including your vulnerabilities. It's not easy, but it's the only real path to authentic love. Older relationships may go through a reinvention process, not necessarily through change, but through deep reconnection. Single Aquarians might start a relationship in an unusual context, such as a friendship turning into something more, or an online conversation becoming serious. The key is not to hide behind the intellectual masks and allow your soul to be honest. Pisces. Venus retrograde in your sign confronts you with the hardest question. How much have you lost yourself in love? Have you loved so much that you forgot about yourself? Have you accepted toxic compromises in the name of understanding? Now is the time to say enough. Not because you don't love anymore, but because you finally started to love yourself. Pisces in relationships may feel the need to withdraw a little, to rediscover themselves. It's an excellent time for spiritual connection within a partnership. Single Pisces may attract people with whom they have karmic connections. Not all will stay, but all will leave an important lesson. Conclusion. May 2025 is not a month of love in the traditional sense. It doesn't come with superficial romance or grand gestures. It brings tough questions, revelations, and healing. Relationships clarify, true desires surface, fantasies dissipate, but the essence remains, authentic love. May is, for each zodiac sign, a mirror, a test, an invitation, not to love correctly, but to love consciously, and with all your heart. Till next time.